Hello everyone! It has been a long time since I've done any kind of video. I guess I've done some IGTV, but just sort of really quick, little easy videos. And life has been a little crazy, a lot of transition, and it's about to get crazier because I have been growing a human inside me for the last 7 months. So, of course, I thought this would be the perfect time to bring back Tea with Justine. I could be totally out of my mind, but with new life comes new perspective, new adventures, new experiences, and this little guy has already brought so much, and I am actually really excited now. Took me a little while, but I'll get into a lot of pregnancy stuff later. I don't want this to be a mommy vlog, but we'll definitely be talking motherhood, parenthood. That being said, this is a brand new channel because if you aren't aware, I rebranded Love Justine a few months ago to the Jawesome Life. As I start this new chapter of my life, there's just so much new. I felt like I needed a new energy, a whole new vibe and look. So if you haven't checked out the website, there's new blogs. I always want to bring positivity and cultural insights, so there's more of that, but it's just more focused now. And I feel like despite how chaotic it's been, I feel more focused in life. So anyways, I wanted to kick off Tea with Justine again with a fun cultural insight video because relatively recently I realized my son is going to be born in the year of the rat. What does that mean? There's actually a lot of good to that, but I was a little disappointed at first. And since it is Chinese New Year, Gong tsai, I figured I'd do a little digging and share what I've learned with you in case you too are having a child this year, in case you were born in the year of the rat, or in case you are married to one, know some rats. It's all good, fun, useful information. So first of all, I have learned that it is not the year of the rat, it is the year of the mouse. The direct translation would be mouse, but for some reason in English we say rat, maybe because rat sounds a little more fierce. To me, I think it just sounds dirty and gross, which is why I was like not that excited. Plus it's hard to beat being born in the year of the dragon, which I was. That being said, my mom kept calling it Mickey Mouse, and I was like, you know what? I like that because Mickey brings magic to the world. Plus, I have a few family members that I like who were born in the year of the mouse, so mouse is a good year. Mouse is the lead in the 12 animal cycle. So if you're familiar, or at least vaguely familiar, I think most of us know that there are 12 zodiac signs. And I'll give you a brief on the story and then share some of the qualities of people born in the year of the mouse, as well as their compatibilities, lucky numbers and colors and such. And for more detail, you can check out my latest blog on thejawesomelife.com. I'll link it below, where I get into more detail on all of this. It's actually it's really fun. I think these stories are great. I love mythology in general. And so this story starts off with the Jade Emperor, the first emperor of China, who invited all 12 zodiac signs to race across the river. And the order in which they arrived on the other side is what determined the order of the years. But it's not just the years, it's also the months, days, and time. I don't know how months and days apply, but I do know that each zodiac sign applies to a 2-hour window in the 24-hour clock. So our little mouse was the first to cross the river after having used the ox, hopped on the ox, and at the last minute jumped ahead of the ox onto the shore, becoming first. So he's a cunning, clever little guy, maybe a little too opportunistic. We'll definitely have to teach our son not to take advantage of people in that way, at least not take advantage of their generosity, because the ox was being really generous. He thought he was going to be first. It's like, okay, I'm going to give this little guy a ride too because he's so little he can't swim across the river. But then the little mouse just doop, beat him to it. Again, rest of the story on the blog. Read it. It's fun. It's interesting. Now, people born in the year of the mouse tend to be, as you can imagine based on the story, resourceful, cunning, intelligent, again, probably opportunistic. They're also very curious, they're very flexible and adaptable. They can be hot-tempered and jealous, but it depends, because one thing I left out was, while there's 12 animals, there's also 5 elements, and there's a few other factors that I don't fully understand yet, so maybe when I get to it next year when we talk about the year of the ox, I will get into it. But yeah, so actually this year's the year of the gold mouse. And when you look online, you'll also find that more commonly gold is translated as metal, but I think we can all agree that gold sounds way cooler and better than metal. So it's the year of the gold mouse, and gold mice can be sort of hot-tempered and jealous and possessive. So there are also negative qualities, but that's for all of us. We all have good and bad qualities, and it's just how we are aware of them and how we learn to use them, hopefully positively. There's some conflicting information. I found several websites that have said that mice tend not to be courageous, which I was a little concerned about, because I want my son to be courageous in life, to do things that scare him, like find a way to get across the river. However, I did read that those born in the year of the gold mouse do seem to possess leadership skills. And actually my dad read somewhere that he could become a good politician. If he goes that route, I hope he goes more like the Nelson Mandela route, you know, leader of peace and progression, rather than some of the politicians we have today. But either way, you know, I think it makes sense. And it also is very fitting of the name we chose for him, because we are naming him Leo Oliver, 2 first names, hyphenated. Oliver being the patron saint of peace, and actually it is said that those born in the year of the mouse, very ambitious, very active, very social, but prefer a more peaceful life. So hopefully Leo Oliver will be a leader of peace. And Leo, just for your information, was chosen because it was a name that sounded French but was not French. That was Chris's request. And I like the name Leo. It's strong, comes from the word lion, you know, and I think of lions as leaders, leader of the pack. So again, leader of peace. Let's hope in the year of the mouse, Leo Oliver will be a leader of peace. There's also different characteristics for men and women, which you can read about in the blog. But again, for the most part, they are very resourceful, intelligent, clever beings. Also very tender-hearted. So in relationships, like really caring people, very creative. In the yin and yang world of this all, mice are yangs, which means that they are bright, positive, outward energy, and also masculine. Now, I don't know if this is just for romantic compatibility or not, but what I've read is that generally people born in the year of the mouse tend to get along really well with people born in the year of the dragon. So this little boy is going to be a major mama's boy. Although, I'm not going to coddle him that much. I need him to be self-sufficient and, again, a leader. They get along really well with ox and monkeys, apparently. And now I've seen conflicting information on whether they get along with rabbits. Some say yes, some say no. So if you're a rabbit, I don't know if you'll get along with people born in the year of the mouse. Maybe you know some mice and you can find out or take a look at your relationship with them. Do you get along with them? Do not, let me know. People they don't get along with are people born in the year of the horse, which I was a little worried about because Chris was born in the year of the horse, but he's literally the very tail end of the horse, like the day before Chinese New Year, his year. And it was funny because in looking at the reasons they don't get along, I was like, this doesn't really sound like Chris, so we'll see. I think one reason was like mice tend to complain a lot, but you know what? Chris is French, so complaining is his language. And I was actually really hoping we could try to avoid picking up that French quality, but now it looks like I'm up against two big things: French daddy and Year of the Mouse being complainers. So we'll see. I'm gonna do my best to raise a gracious, grateful child. Others they might not get along with are sheep, and again, possibly rabbit. Also, maybe rooster. Lucky numbers are 2 and 3, or numbers that include those numbers. So I was actually really excited because our son is due March 26th, 2020. So there's a lot of 2s and 3s in there, including 2 times 3 equals 6. I have a feeling he's gonna come a little earlier. I know, this is my first child, I have no idea. People say that a lot of people feel like their kid's gonna come early, and then they come late. So we'll see, but so far it's looking like he will arrive somewhere around then, maybe a little earlier because he's appearing larger. But I know that also doesn't mean really anything because he's not like abnormally large. He's just bigger than our due date would suggest. So anyways, 2 and 3, lucky numbers. Unlucky numbers, 5 and 9. Lucky colors, blue, gold, and green. And unlucky colors, yellow and brown. I mean, is brown ever a lucky color? I don't know. Also, like lucky flowers, there aren't any unlucky flowers, not that I have seen, but lucky flowers are lily and African violets, which I thought was curious because I kind of wondered, are there African violets in China? I don't know. It's also lucky directions. So I find Chinese astrology and history so interesting. There's so much Chinese history has influenced in all our cultures, which is one of the things I want to get into in more videos, including lots of foods that we don't realize originated from China. But you know, we don't have tea without China, so we don't have fireworks without China, or spaghetti. And technically, probably ice cream too, and churros, my favorite. That is the year of the gold mouse. Let me know in the comments below if you are having a kid this year, if any of this rings true to any mice you know in your life, or if you have more information or more accurate information than I do. And stay tuned for some more exciting adventures, exciting conversations. At least I'm really excited. I hope you are too. Thank you so much for watching and joining me today for tea. Remember to hit subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Toodles. Cheers.